You fucking perverts ready? You fucking degenerates. Yeah, it's Silent Hill music. Figured that was appropriate.
I mean, if you're gonna do something Silent Hill related, it's obviously you need to have a pachinko machine going.
Die. Return to the pits.
You will not send me to the mummy hole.
I don't know if that's true, is the thing. I don't know if the rumored Pyramid Head origin story is a true thing, or if that's just, like, a rumor that they're putting out, or, like, if somebody misunderstood something. If it's real, I'm going to fucking scream and cry and piss on every surface.
Here's the thing that you made you question. Would you be surprised if they did that?
No, I wouldn't. Would I be surprised? No. Would I be fucking furious? Absolutely. I've heard rumors. But I don't know if that's true.
I'll have to wait and see, but like, was Pyramid Head like ever human? I thought like the whole thing with Pyramid Head was like, it's just like a symbol. Like it's like a mental manifestation of, you know, like traumas and pain and all that. It's not really a person per se.
No, he's just one of the monsters.
Exactly, because it's not like Jason or Freddy or Leatherface where it's like, oh yeah, sure, they were a person once.
This is the rip from 2. So I'll go with the one that's, I'll use the ref that's the Dark Deception one, because that way it's a little higher quality. That's already a ripped woman if you're not a little bitch. Stop! I don't wanna do this! I thought that this was a wickedly unreasonably large sub goal, and I thought you guys would never hit 160 in this.
Look, you made this possible. You did this. You make a goal and it happens, then it happens.
I thought 160 was unreasonable.
Well, make a bigger goal. Do things like that. Then like, oh, it'll never happen, and then it does.
I thought 160 was unreasonable. I was like, there's no way they'll hit 100, let alone 160.
And then they did.
And then you did, and now I have to draw Pyramid Head with his tits out.
I mean, would you rather it be like Mr. X or Nemesis with their tits out?
Nemesis is next.
Oh, good!
I thought these were unreasonable goals! I was like, there's no way!
You see, that's what we like to call an F-truth moment, where it's like, there's no way it's gonna happen, there's no way it's gonna happen, and it does.
Next time I'll set my fucking goals accordingly, I guess.
Define accordingly.
Higher!
But how high is higher?
Well, we made it to, like, almost 300, so... Much. Advocate for the bimbofication of Pyramid Head. I chose to cope with humor. Can we get much higher? So
Give yourself
high.
lifting us high.
We hit 340, I think. No, we hit 330 was the highest one we hit.
All right, what other horror icons could we bimbofy? Bimbo Pinhead? I mean, we already know Leatherface is a trans icon.
We do?
I mean, come on. He's rocking that makeup. He is embracing himself. He is fighting the Illuminati. They are fighting the Illuminati.
I try not to think about those movies.
You don't want to think about Matthew McConaughey with a metal leg going.
Yeah, I try not to think about it. I try not to think about the later Texas Chainsaw movies.
You don't want to think about with Leatherface having the speaking spell and seeing the picture of the clown and just putting F-O-O-D.
I also like the only one in like all of the slasher things that I will not, because like I said I do a slasher pinup series, that's one of these. And I intend to make good on that promise because I think that'll be funny. The only one I feel uncomfortable doing is gonna be Bubba. Because Bubba's like really developmentally disabled, and sexualizing that feels icky to me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's kind of the problem with a lot of like horror icons, is like a lot of like the emotional trauma stuff. Like, remember when like Kotobukiya did those Bishoujo slasher pinups?
Yeah, they did them as figurines too, and the Bubba one. Yeah, disabled people can be sexy, but like Bubba is implied to be like developmentally like the same as a child. Like I feel like that's inappropriate. I feel like that's weird.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, is his name Bubba? I thought like with like the multiple different continuities was like one was like his name was Thomas, another one his name was Jebediah.
Bubba seems to be the one that's the most consistent, and I think it's more because it's a nickname.
Yeah, because like he doesn't really have like a true name, because I know there's been like multiple origin movies for him, but I don't think they've ever stuck with just one.
Also, I love not being able to find the references I want, so I have to fucking do the pose myself. Hate that shit. I don't like the way I look in pictures.
I hate the way I look. Like I'm always self-conscious the way I look, so I feel you.
So my prom is uncomfortable for me, same thing. Agreed, yeah. Well, it's like I've said, I don't think that I'm, like, unattractive or anything. I just don't like the way I look in pictures. I just don't think I'm very photogenic.
Fair.
Like, when I look at myself in the mirror, I feel fine, and then I look at myself in photos, and I'm like, I fucking hate this. I look terrible.
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling. Oh, that smile is off. Oh, my hair doesn't look good. Oh, that. Yeah, I know that.
I know what I'm going to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. I want to draw Bara tits on Pyramid Head.
You have to. You made the rule. They honored it. You have to do it for the people.
I will do it for the people. I just want you to know. Don't say I don't fucking do anything for you. You don't ever get to be like, oh, the streamer doesn't do what we... Shut up. Streamer doesn't listen to us. Streamer doesn't care about us. You never get to say these words in my presence again. Do it for the people, TM. Yeah. Listen, I know you freaks are in my audience, and for the most part, I don't mind. It's like I said, right? Like, some of my closest friends are monster fuckers. And, like, it isn't even the monster fuckery that's the problem for me. It's the rampant sexualization of the literal personification of the literal anthropomorphized misogyny that I'm like, can we not?
I mean, if you're going by that logic, like, who was the person who decided, let's sexualize the child predator?
Yeah, Listen, I've said before, and I'll say again, I'm not a big Friday the 13th fan. For, like, a number of reasons. But, like, why?
I mean, these are still people who like, you know, Friday the 13th and like the character. I still love the one where it's like, you know, he's the camp counselor.
I love camp counselor Jason.
Although, also, according to the rules by Jason X, apparently this is the year in which hockey will be outlawed.
God, maybe. Alright. I'm going to, like, roughly draw in the muscular shape. You'll see why in a second. Because I know you're looking at this first base sketch and you're like, Heaton, this is gonna get all covered up, and I see you, but you're gonna just have to trust me. I'm changing a couple of things from my base ref, as is my want. I do this normally with my regular sketches, you'll see. Just follow the fucking vision, don't worry about it. Just let me fucking cook. I can't believe this. I've finally been coerced. I've been peer pressured into using my powers for evil. When you do horror villain pinups, any particular list together? I mean, I want to stick with, I want to do the classics. So I'm gonna draw Jason, I'm gonna draw Michael. I'm gonna do Freddy. I think I want to do an even 6.
Maybe like Pinhead?
So I might do Pinhead. I don't know who I might do for that last one. Also, you may be wondering. You're probably not, but shh, quiet. I know you're not wondering, but shut up for a minute. So you may be wondering. And you're drawing at a really weird DPI, at a really weird aspect ratio. Like, you don't normally draw during like this way. You're normally a square canvas girly, and I am normally a square canvas girly. But you know what? I'm gonna be fucking real with you for a minute, chat. Come here, come close. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna put my whole fucking ass into it, as is my usual wanton way. I'm not getting something for nothing. I'm not doing this for nothing. This fucking standard print sizes. I'm gonna see what I can't do about getting these made into prints that you can buy. That's the goal. The goal is, I want to do more, like... I want to do more merchandise stuff this year. Like, I want to be able to try... It was one of the things I wanted to do this year. I'm not really doing a resolution so much as I'm like, these are things I want to be able to get to try. And one of them is that I want to I want to try and make some actual, like, merchandise you can buy. I don't know how to do that other than, like, making stuff on Vograce, but, like... Well, that's the thing. So, tabling at MomoCon is kind of an ordeal. We looked into it. For a first con... For my first time ever artist tabling, probably not a good idea.
I mean, you could always ask about doing, like, you know, having multiple people, like, you know, put together for a table.
We talked about doing that. Crafty, Dio, Brooke, and I actually talked about that.
Okay.
But, like, it's kind of a lot. I don't know how much I'll have by then, so I don't know if, like... So I don't know if MomoCon's the right place to do that, but I want to try and... I want to try and get together, like, an online store of some... Like, an online storefront of some kind.
That's fair. I mean, you could always talk to Blue. He did, table art 1 year for Con Bravo.
Yeah. So it's less, so I don't know if I want to if I'm gonna table it at MomoCon this year. I want to try and table at MomoCon at some point. But this year, I don't know.
Hello, Athea.
Hello, Ontario.
But I'd like to be able to make my, I'd like to be able to sell more of my artwork.
I mean, that's fair. If you do MomoCon, you could always ask, like, Yuki or someone if they want to do it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Give Heaton money. Ooh, chat, you want to give Heaton money so bad. Ooh, give Heaton money. Ooh.
Also, so
I've done what I can.
Thank you. My, so, as well, this isn't really an announcement of any sort, it's just something that I've been doing, is I want to do all of the art-based ones of these, get those all done, so that way we can start setting up, like, Wednesday can be when we start, like, when we do the designated game streams. And
which games do you have to play? Sorry.
I'll answer that in a sec. So we can do the designated game streams, and then the goal is, after that, I'm gonna try and do, as available, I'm gonna start doing, commission streams again. And I'll announce those on the weekly schedule the week before. And they'll have limited slots. So, like, I'll probably do, like, 5 slots. And then I'll do a stream where I just do a bunch of commission artwork. So that way I can start doing commissions again, because I need, money! Woo! Clock tower design for a t-shirt. As for games I have to play... Dredge, he said with hope. Well, I want to play the Dredge DLC. That's not on the list of things I have to play, but it's something I want to play. So the games I promised, and I will play them in the order that they're on the list. So in order, it's Suicide of Rachel Foster, Silent Hill Homecoming, The Medium, Poppy Playtime, Garten of Banban, Security Breach, Amanda the Adventurer, Bendy and the Ink Machine, Sucker for Love, the first Five Nights at Freddy's, Rule of Rose, and then it'll be capped off with the Silent Hill Marathon.
And hey, maybe when you finally get there, we'll finally have news about Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, fuck, maybe. Actually, I'm gonna reposition this arm one more time. There we go, that's it. Listen, I'm not a big fan of the thirstification of Pyramid Head, but at this goddamn point...
I'll be back in a minute.
You don't like it, then why are you capitalizing on it? Because my stream paid me to, and I like money. Fucking Konami doesn't care about the authenticity of their shit. Why do I have to? Eat nuts.
Of course they care about the authenticity. They want to make sure it looks good in the pachinko machines.
Okay, so... Almost...
Just hear the viscera.
Yeah, I hate it and you, and I'll beat you to death. I'll dump you into the mummy hole, I'll fucking do it. So you're looking at me and you're going, Heaton, what are you doing? He still has pants on. And I said, yeah, he does, but you know what? I could just draw him without a top on, but that's nothing. That's no good. You don't understand the appeal. Because you see, those of you who were like, oh, just draw him naked, was like, no. You don't understand true thirst appeal. That's why your fucking sexy anime girl figurines are posed the way they are. It's why they got what they are. What we're gonna do... is we're gonna do this. We're gonna take that... because for those of you who don't know, who aren't as intimately familiar with this motherfucker as I am, when you lighten it up a little bit, you can see that his shirt's cut like this. Right?
Almost like a straitjacket, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to mimic a straitjacket. It's supposed to mimic a straitjacket up top, and then it's supposed to turn into like a butcher's apron down at the bottom. That's why he's got the rubber boots, the plastic, the gloves, right?
Yeah.
Is it supposed to blend those two elements together? And it does, incredibly well. So what you do to take that and make it sexier... oops, this was something I'm doing for TikTok. Is you just exaggerate it. You make it like one of those muscle shirts and have it cut all the way down. Because then, if you do this, then... ah, see? There's your fucking sex appeal, chat. I didn't know cock bludgeoned probably help. Then the only other trick is that we add some detail in the upper arms, like this. Yeah, define the muscles a little bit more. If I really wanted to push it, I could do that. That's pushing it. Hello, Admin Dude 2. Welcome. I'm glad this is your first stream. This is not indicative of my usual content, I promise. Me too. Jesus. There we go. Alright. That's it. That's what I wanted. Okay. I think I can... Hello, cat! Welcome! Welcome to the chat. Oh, God. Alright, now we get to do... Meow! We do the line art! Thank you for the follow! Your character looks so cool. Thank you! I was a combined effort between myself and Dr. Crafty and my model father, Okuda. Is that Pyramid Head? Yeah, it's Pyramid Head. Wait, I have an idea. Hang on, I have an idea. I have an idea. So for my subathon in October, my sub reward goal was... One of my sub reward goals was to draw a spicy Pyramid Head. Just checked back! Wow! I feel dumb, but what game is Pyramid Head from? He is from Silent Hill 2. And much to my goddamn chagrin, consistently, Silent Hill Homecoming and, the movie.
Oh, yes. Which movie? The first one or the second one?
He's in the second one.
I thought he was in the first one too, but like, I remember the second one just for like, where he's basically like, you know, running the carousel and is the main hero and chops up all the guys' arms, and then all of a sudden random Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. That's it. Silent Hill has a movie, 2 of them, 3 in the works. Because there's another one in the works. They're trying to adapt Silent Hill 2, which is why they're making the new Silent Hill 2 remake! It's a fucking movie tie-in game! I hate it here! This is my, again, I'm doing that for a TikTok challenge.
So who do you think has the worst adaptations? Silent Hill or Resident Evil?
Probably Silent Hill. Cause like, the only reason I'd say Silent Hill, right, is because Resident Evil's shit, while not being good, is still, like, it still has, while it's not, like, while the movies aren't good, they still capture the B-movie vibe of Resident Evil. But Silent Hill is, like, this dark, psychological horror that deals with all this, like, really deep-rooted emotional and psychological trauma. Its adaptations being fucking campy and stupid ruins the tone of the actual thing it's adapting as well.
I think that's kind of the problem, is because, like, Silent Hill 4, I think, was, like, the best... No, not Silent Hill. Resident Evil 4, I think, was, like, that best balance between humor and action and a little bit of, like, the horror elements.
Right.
Like, it added all the set pieces, all the crazy gore, all the wicked stuff to make things interesting. I always have the problem with the Resident Evil movies that, like, there's no logic, there's no characterization, there's no story, and, like, there are some interesting set pieces, but it just feels like, above all else, just a slog to get through most of it.
I feel like the new Resident Evil doesn't have that problem.
Like the newer series?
Yeah,
of
like,
games?
yeah, like, 7 and 8.
Yeah, like, game-wise, like, fine. Movie-wise, they're utter garbage.
Oh, movie-wise, they're fucking absolute gutter trash, but, like...
Like, I remember, like, looking through them and just, like, all this opportunity, all this setup, all these interesting ideas, and you waste them. Like, you utterly wasted them. Like, I remember, like, the second to last movie you set up, I was like, okay, massive fight. Huge battle that's about to happen at the White House. Monsters, creatures, all these things coming. And then the next movie just cuts, it's all over.
Yeah, that shit's annoying as hell.
Not to mention the fact that, like, Alice, that the biggest struggle that they have, the biggest foe she has throughout the entire series is a motorcycle.
One of the things I really like about Resident Evil is the introduction of, like, the idea of the animals becoming a threat.
Definitely, it's cool seeing, like, you know, big spiders and tadpoles and all those monsters and all that stuff being quite interesting.
It's no problem, Aether. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, but, like, again, I wouldn't say the Resident Evil movies are good by any stretch of the imagination, but, like, the difference for me is that they're worse adaptations. I would say Silent Hill has the better movies, the worse adaptation.
Yeah, because, like, the second movie, like, they tried backpedaling hard to be like, no, this is totally what it was. It's totally supposed to be, like, the original games and such, and then it's just, like, makes even more continuity errors and weird plot elements and ideas that just don't work.
Yeah, they really, like... They just really fucked up a lot of the, like... a lot of the best shit. And there's kind of not a whole lot that can be done about it.
And also, let's not forget Pop-Tart jump scare.
Oh, God. It actually... Yeah, I'm gonna... That's better. But, like, yeah, there's a lot of, like, shit that I just don't like about, the way the Silent Hill movies were handled. As opposed to, like... Because, like, again, the Resident Evil movies are objectively worse. But, like, we made Pyramid Head the good guy. He's the good guy now, guys. I hate that.
He's not like he's a figure of the franchise, one of the most iconic designs, but he is not a good guy. He's a symbol of pain and suffering and anger and all these things.
He's fucking James Sunderland's monster is what he is, and I'm getting really tired of him being in shit. Like, okay. Listen. If you had to pick a character from the Silent Hill franchise to be a killer in Dead by Daylight, of course it was gonna be Pyramid Head. Like, of course it was, right?
It's iconic look. It's like the basic humanity, like abstract, you know, the juxtaposition with the big head, the big long sword.
Yeah, my issue was not with Pyramid Head being the one that was picked. It's that, why was he there with Heather? He's not Heather's fucking monster! Like, if you were gonna pick Pyramid Head, which of course you were fucking gonna, why wouldn't you have picked James to go with him? And I don't like James! James is a whiny bitch! But, like, we can't pretend that Pyramid Head isn't his that the red thing, the Executioner, that's what he's actually called. I'm just not gonna get into that people get into that weird semantics are stupid, but like...
Look, it's the semantics of people who say that, you know, it's Frankenstein's monster, Frankenstein isn't his name.
Shut up. But like, it's just fun fact, that's why on all of the official, like, merch, he's not called Pyramid Head, is because that's not his name. He's the Executioner. But he's Pyramid Head. But like, the infuriating thing, right, is like, if it was gonna be Pyramid Head, which we all knew it was gonna be, like, why couldn't you have just picked James?
Because female marketability, I suppose?
Probably. Well, it's because while Pyramid Head is one of the most, like, iconic monsters, Heather's just more popular. People like Heather more, which I don't agree with, but I get. I think I'm gonna give you a real hot take here, chat.
Ooh.
I think Heather's incredibly lame, and I really don't like Silent Hill 3. But, and that's a hot take that I possess, and I know that, but like, but I get it. She's the more popular figure. And I get why people like her, I just don't. But like, fucking, but he's not her monster! If you were gonna pick Heather, then the monster should have been, Alessa, and if you were going to pick the Pyramid Head, then the survivor should have been James. These things go together, god damn it! That's the whole fucking point! Without James, there is no Pyramid Head. Not the only one, I don't like her too. Yeah! Pyramid Head versus Nemesis in a Keijo match! As Taurus, both making you scared, making you question your beliefs you held before watching the movie. That's a good, yeah, I mean, that's a good barometer to judge your horror by. I don't think that level is, like, necessary for it to be good, because, like, I like good campy horror as well. It's why it's why I removed the stick from my ass and started enjoying Resident Evil, but, like, because Because, yeah, fun fact, for those of you who don't know me that well, I used to really not like Resident Evil. I was a big fucking lame ass about it, too. It's because I was a dumb high schooler, and I was a dumb, pretentious kid, and I thought, like, it's, you know, it's so lame, it's not even scary. And, like, while to this day, I like playing up the fictional feud. Because I've seen a couple of people do that, where they play into, like, the fictional marketing feud between Silent Hill and Resident Evil. Where, like, people are like, oh, you can only like one or the other, because they're different. They're inherently very deeply different. So I like to play up the rivalry jokingly. So, like, when big Resi fans will be like, oh, my favorite... Or, a great example of this was, is a TikToker that I liked was like, I don't like horror games, but I'm gonna try Resident Evil, and so I left a comment on their TikTok, and I was like, oh, it's a great gateway, considering that Resident Evil isn't fucking scary.
Like comparing the two, it's like comparing Evil Dead to, like, The Shining. It's different kinds of horror. You can like both of them.
Yeah, you super can. I just like to play into this as a bit. Like, I genuinely really enjoy them both now.
Yeah, like, there's always, like, the fighting between, like, you know, franchise and IPs, like, oh, Star Wars and Star Trek, or, like, Pokemon and Digimon. It's like, you can like both.
You can absolutely enjoy both. And a lot of the time with things like that, people do, which is the best part, right?
Yeah.
Like, typically if you like something that's that similar, you're more likely to like something that's the same thing but a little different.
Or being able to like different things and enjoying the contrasting elements.
Exactly. Like, I've grown to love the camp. The real camp! Things that are actually camp and silly and fun. I love actual camp. But like, those things I've learned in my adulthood that those things do have a place and a point. I've also just become less judgmental overall, I think, in my adulthood is the other thing.
I think that's fair, because, like, I think for a lot of people, like, especially for, like, internet culture, there's kind of, like, that due to, like, snobbery that we got from, like, the Tig-Tig era, the commentary area, where we're like, I want to be more, you know, subjective. I want to be more insight into what I'm consuming as media. I want to be, like, I can look into this and see what's wrong and what's right. I'm the one with all the knowledge.
It's why, unironically, I think that, like, I think, like, a lot of people have talked at length about, like, the damage that internet criticism has done for, like, media literacy. And for the most part, I agree with, like, 75% of those assessments. The only ones, but, like, I agree with them for different reasons. Because one of the things that I don't see a lot of people talking about that irritates the living fuck out of me is, this weird high and mighty mentality that motherfuckers have adapted, where they think that, like, if you like something that I deem as bad, it's the notion of you have to acknowledge that the thing is bad. No, I don't.
No, you don't. Like, I remember
I absolutely fucking do not. Like, my favorite recurring joke to this, every time somebody does this, is like, no, I I think that Sharknado is one of the greatest movies ever made, actually.
Like, it's dumb. It knows it's dumb. It's like, the joke is obvious. It gets the joke and runs with it. Like, this is not like The Room or Birdemic, where it's like, they were trying to make something genuine and failed. They knew it was dumb, made it dumb, and it is what it is. Like, I remember I had a conversation on one of Danica's calls talking about, like, Batman v Superman, and, like, I do not care for that movie. But one of the people in the call was like, oh, I actually did like it, and I have these points and these points about why I like it. And, like, I don't agree with them, but I find your points interesting, so I respect your opinion.
Yeah, like, I don't... Like, that's what it boils down to. Every time some motherfucker is like, well, you have to acknowledge that this thing is objectively bad. No, I don't. Spoilers,
No, that's the
I
thing.
don't, actually.
That thing, that person is being subjective.
Yeah,
It is their opinion. They are being subjective.
Like, I'm gonna be so fucking for real with you, big man. I've seen, like, There Will Be Blood. I've seen fucking Chicago, or, Chinatown. I've seen some of the big ones, TM. Apocalypse Now is boring and sad. And I had more fun watching Sharknado, and therefore, to me, it's a better movie.
I mean, I joked about this before, but, like, do you know what Alfred Hitchcock's favorite movie was?
Oh, you've told me this bit. What is it?
Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, this is a fun movie.
Exactly, like, you don't, like, if you can enjoy stuff. You don't have to, like, always be super critical and objective and find, like, what is the perfect film, the most balanced one that has, like, the most complex ideas and is so cinema that you must embrace it as the most perfect film ever. Like, my favorite film of all time is still stuff like The Book of Life.
Like, I just can't stand it. I can't stand this weird, pretentious bullshit of, like, I don't like it, therefore you have to acknowledge all of its flaws because I pointed them out to you. No, I don't.
To James in the chat. Die Another Day is one of my favorite Bond movies. Ah, yes, the one where Bond is paragliding on a tsunami. The greatest of films.
I was about to say,
Like,
Die Another Day?
Like, this is the guy who prefers Daniel Craig when he's doing an American accent. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love Knives Out and Glass Onion, but, like, what about, like, Tomb Raider?
I'm surprised. I wouldn't have thought you were, like, necessarily not even necessarily not a Pierce Brosnan Bond, but, like, Die Another Day? I liked Tomb Raider.
Not saying Tomb Raider is a good movie. Like, again, like, that's kind of one of the things, because, like, it knows what it is. It knows what it is on the box. It is hot lady in exposed midriff and guns shooting at stone statues and, like, okay, like, take an Indiana Jones movie, splash in a bunch of, like, Matrix-style fight scene, whole bunch of, like, high adventure, early 2000 shit, and there you go. And it knows what it is, it doesn't have any pretense with it, and it just has fun.
Yeah, and I love that shit.
Like, you're allowed to like cheesy things. You're allowed to enjoy camp. And I think that's one of the problems is, like, a lot of the times with, like, media or media consumption is, like, they want things to be more serious things. They want things to be serious.
And I think that's stupid.
Yeah, just, like, I watched, like, a lot of, like, the modern Batman stuff, and then just, like, a while back, I ended up buying the 66 Batman set, and just, like, oh, this is so much better. It knows what it is and has fun with it.
It's why listen, I'm gonna say this now, and this is not an argument, like, following the read of the room, I don't give a shit. Amorcito, what track is this? This is 2, I think. Wait a second. This is Rebirth Ending is the name of the song.
What do you not give a shit about?
I don't give a shit what anybody says or thinks, and like, if it isn't for you, it isn't for you. If one more motherfucker says the words Marvel movie derogatory in my presence, I will send you to the Shadow Realm.
I still don't get how people are like, oh, it's a Marvel movie. Like, what do you mean? That it has fun?
Yeah,
That it makes joke?
Dog, I hate with all of my heart these motherfuckers who are really out here like, oh, fucking Marvel movie humor. Shut up.
Do you want to go back to the days where, like, what did you expect, blue and yellow spandex?
Like, my shit is they're like, oh, they hate, like, the original movies, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. But, like, first of all, no, they don't. Because, like, I got into an argument with somebody on Twitter about this, where they were bitching about this, and I was like, this is not nearly as pervasive as a problem as you fucking weirdos keep making it out to be. And it really fucking irritates the living shit out of me when you do this. Because you don't know what you're talking about. And they were like, what are you talking about? And my response was, I want you to find me examples of when this happened. The answer is twice. It's happened 2 times. And I'm like, if you don't like that, fine. But you acting like, oh, they do this every movie, and like, it's all the humor no, it isn't. And no, they don't. Like, factually, that's incorrect. And you know it's incorrect.
Like, there's different styles of humor, and they vary radically differently between films. And, like, yeah, there's jokes. You're allowed to make jokes. People make jokes during times of stress and difficult situations. It's called levity.
The 2 I can... No, I'm sorry, 3. I can think of 3. The 3 times I can think of it is that bit in, I think it's Infinity War, when, they have what's your name? Strange. Stephen Strange. And he goes, oh, we're using our superhero names. Hi, I'm Spider-Man. There's one bit in, Jessica Jones where she wears the classic costume and she looks at Kitty and is like, fuck no. And then there's the bit in Luke Cage where he's walking around with the yellow shirt and the tiara on, and he goes, hell no, and he takes that off. But, like, and see, here's why I, as well, am like, this is a disingenuous read. You wanna know why? The characters wear those in the comics? The characters...
Because it's comic books.
Do the characters still dress like that in the comics? No. You wanna know why they don't? Because the times have changed!
Yeah, like, there's, like... The only time I really I like when they acknowledge the old costumes, it's a fun little joke to it, but the only time I think it really worked was the first Captain America movie, and even then, like, it was supposed to be, like, an outfit, it was supposed to be something flashy, and then they kind of decided, like, hey, you know what, this costume, it's silly, but it's something iconic, so let's take that look. And then they kind of made a joke about it with it being the ultimate outfit, because he still had the red outfit on, he still had the helmet, but it was more like the ultimate costume. They're like, okay, let's take those, combine it together, and make something that you can actually wear in a fight. Like, there's a reason that, like, you know, Luke Cage is just walking around with a yellow t-shirt and jeans on nowadays, because, like, he can just go into the street, battle some bad guys, get shot 10 times, and then just wipe off his shirt like it's nothing.
Yeah, because he doesn't need those things. I hate regular clothes as a costume. And that's fair. That's a fair read. I disagree, but I get why people are like, no, give them the funny costume. Because, like, yeah.
Because that's why we like superheroes. We like seeing costumes. We like cool gloves and long flowing capes and stuff like that. But they have to make sense for a character. And, like I think one of the only times I can really like a superhero who's not wearing a costume is someone like Constantine, because like I know, like I remember listening to Link Carr saying like he's not liking Constantine because he's like just a guy, but that's kind of what makes him so fun. He's just a guy who has all these abilities. He's a guy fighting demons and gods and all these creatures, but he just looks like a guy who just walked out of the pub one night.
I hate that you say Constantine.
But it's Constantine, rhymes with wine.
No, it's Constantine.
They say it in the comics. Constantine rhymes with wine.
They do, and the comics are wrong.
They are the comics. That's the source material.
Yeah, the source material's wrong. Because that's awful and stupid.
Oh, sure. Constantine rhymes with ween.
Rhymes with scene would have been mine, but if we're gonna be disingenuine, alright.
I just know that, like, Mortis is in the chat right now, and they are just staring daggers at me.
Here, give us Marvel. We're the best Marvel series. Argue with the wall.
Like, they are good series. They are enjoyable. I still...
John Constantine, I'm so back!
There it is!
I knew the minute I was like waiting for it to load, waiting for it to load. There it is.
Ironically, the way Ontario pronounces Constantine makes Heaton wine.
It does, because I hate it. Let me see if I can get... I need a rust... I can! Okay. I have to buy this one, but that's fine. Yes? Hello?
Hot. Still representation of internalized misogyny, though.
Thank you. Thing is...
What are you buying?
I'm buying... Oh, God. Can you go get my wallet?
Oh, or is it by the front door where we normally keep the wallet?
It should be?
What are you purchasing?
I need to buy, I need to buy, CSP fun dollar V-Bucks so that way I can buy this texture brush.
Gotcha.
Leave me to do my bidding. What are you bidding on? I'm bidding on a table.
I do a lot of work with a rust texture, so this will be a good. I'll toss 50 bucks into my wallet so that way I can. That's what the money I was given was for. It's for me to buy stuff for work.
It's an investment. We're just thankful to all the wonderful people. So maybe you should subscribe and give bits and voice and all your wonderful things to Eaton so they can draw more Monster Bara.
More Monster Bara for you. For you!
You all want to see Mr. X in a Speedo, don't you?
I mean, Mr. X isn't, like, that difficult to draw, thank God. Hang on. Thank you! I need this! Oh, which one is it? Is it...
It's not by the front door.
Fuck, then it's in my room.
Is Daedalus in chat?
Yeah?
I think they are.
Justin uploaded again. What's the point of Justin Let's Playing if he does not have his one fan watch and leave comments?
Is it... I think it's the Halo of the Sun is the one I want. No, it's Metatron, that's it.
I can go peek in your room if you want.
Yeah, it should be on my nightstand.
Cool.
Thank you! File. Import. Image. So for those of you who aren't familiar, this is the seal of the Metatron. It's the seal on all of... I think this is your save point seal. Okay, so we do this. Bye-bye. Because surprise! Red's gonna be our overlay color. Who could have ever guessed?
There it is. Thank you, my dear.
You're welcome.
I just want to play funny games with the tall thing. Go grab it, lady.
More Undertale?
No. What's the name of the game you're playing, Brooke?
Pseudo Regalia.
There you go.
So I hear tall,
If
thick
you
goat
like-
mom, and that was where my mind went.
Just guys just move it.
You were here for the schmovement. Yeah, let's do that. And then we apply again. Put a little finer. Look at that shit. Justin approaches. We told your super fan that you uploaded.
Did Daedalus give up on me? Deserved, probably.
No, his exact words were, "Yeah, baby, that's what I've been waiting for." That's what it's all about.
Survivor does go up on Saturday too, so in case. Yeah.
COVID worthy. Did you go Mucinex?
I did not take a mistake.
Do you want to?
I probably should.
Do you want me to go get it?
If you don't mind.
I can go get it. I am good for very little.
You are good for so much.
Factually, untrue.
And yet here I am. Being an arrow.
Good luck with John Capitalism.
Well, he's done his nickel for John Capitalism today.
I was commenting on, what is this thing?
Oh. So good on Mochita. I can't wait to see when he's done. When you get to see his fucking fat tits.
What happened? Oh.
The state of the community, something, something.
Thank you.
Fucking perverts, something, something.
Society, something, something.
Into the community? What community?
The fucking horror community.
I thought you meant the Silent Hill, and I was like, what?
The Silent Hill community. Well, yeah, also the Silent Hill community.
But what community?
This is a good question.
The ones that like the AI written. Actually, I won't be a part of the problem where that we have on the internet. It's like, oh, this is bad and cringe. It must have been written by AI. No, people can just suck sometimes.
I mean, Urban's making sense.
Yeah.
Now we buy the brush. Now we buy the brush settings. We buy the fancy brush, so that way we can do the art. Doing it, there we go. It's always important for me to add money to my wallet so that I can buy brushes because I like supporting fellow artists. And I also like making my life easier. The Heaton community.
Why does Mucinex have to be fucking horse pill size? Like, Christ
I don't know. I hate that they're horse pills. That shit sucks.
And it's 2 of them. I mean, I can do it because I have to pop Advil like I'm high on crack or something. But
It's true. I've watched Brooke take like 3 full-sized liquid gel Advil at the same time, and I can't fucking imagine.
That's how I have to cope, but otherwise it does not work. I do not have a drug problem. I am not addicted to pills. I should just make that clear.
Brooke's brain just literally physically hates her.
I know that feeling.
I don't think it's possible to get addicted to NSAI.
Yeah. No, I was just making fun of the, like, cause me too. Just like, I mean, yeah, probably.
Oh yes, I'm addicted to no longer being in pain.
So we do this. We apply via... Then we do... This is why we spend the extra money, chat. Cause look at that! Look at that juicy, juicy texture. Look at that shit! Alright. So now we have our color. We're gonna duplicate this layer in case I fuck it up. Now we get to the fun part. I saved! I hit save. Don't worry about it. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, I like that. It's our overlay. Then we do our broad shadows and our broad highlights. I've been learning all kinds of fun things experimenting with this new shit, chat. I'm becoming fairly good at doing things that have, like, actual lighting, TM. Then we do that. Then we take the dark, and we darken up just our middle. And the shadows would be just a little bit. Now we do the real shit, TM. YouTube is cringe for not telling me Justin posted. Now I go to my regular highlights brush and we can start actually doing the rendering, TM. I used to hate this fucking part. Because I was just really bad at it, and it was hard. But now, I've learned some things. And now that I think I've found a way that works for me, that I like, I hate it less. it's true. Doing art in general is that way for me, where there's just entire segments or swaths of kinds of art that I fucking hate doing, and then I learn how to do them, and I'm like, I hate this list.
It's almost like people don't like doing things that they're not good at until they reach a point where they feel like they're actually comfortable doing it.
It's true. Art's one of those things, though, that, like, it's so fucking wildly subjective from person to person. The other thing, too, is I feel like recently, especially, my, if any of you know this terminology, I feel like my hands are catching up with my eyes again. There's this phenomenon that happens with predominantly visual artists, but it happens with other people as well. But I've only seen people in the visual arts talk about it because I'm in the visual arts. But when you're an artist, your skill and your eye do not grow at the same time. So you learn to be able to, like you can see when you learn for example, what to look out for, you'll see it more, and you'll be like, oh, my art's backsliding, I'm not doing good, my progress is halting, why do I feel like whenever you hit that period where you're like, I feel like I've gotten worse, you haven't. You've gotten better. In honesty, you've gotten better. But you've now learned, and because now that you've gotten better, you've learned what to look out for in your artwork. And now you're seeing mistakes that you didn't see before because you didn't know what to look for. Because, like, either you didn't know the word, or you didn't know that this was a mistake, or you had been looking at it and been like, oh, something's off, but whatever, you know? You're not getting worse. You've actually gotten so good that your hands need to catch up. Because you'll start seeing mistakes, and you'll be like, what? How long have I been making these mistakes? It's why when you look back on old artwork, it always feels like it's worse than it actually is. Like, for example, I've done a lot more work with, form. That's somewhere where I feel like I've gotten, like, substantial improvement. Was in how I, like my things feeling three-dimensional and, like, round. My stuff doesn't feel as flat as it used to. And now, when I go back and do redraws of my old artwork, I look at it and I'm like, oh, my fucking old artwork's so flat. And it's like, because I didn't know.
Yeah, you learn and improve. I think I saw this earlier on Facebook today. It's like that one joke where they used the font from Jurassic Park. Like, hey, look, it's someone who's just learning a skill and they're not very good at it. See, nobody cares if you're bad.
Yeah. When you're just starting out, like, or when because you're always, the axiom is true. You'll hear it a lot, and a lot of people are like, oh, but, like, it's true. Art is always learning. You're never gonna hit a point where you're like, I now know TM.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, you'll always be improving. Art in particular is a study of perpetual improvement. There is no perfection. There is no it. There is no threshold for when you'll be, like, as good as you'll ever be. You'll always be getting better.
You always improve.
Yeah. It's why, in terms of, like, my art style, I don't get as hung up on it anymore as I used to when I was younger. Like, I've said before that, like, a lot of the projects that I want to make or work on, I need other people to work on them, like, with me. Like, I need another artist to do certain things, and it's just because my art style doesn't fit the way I want it to look. But I've come to terms with, like, that doesn't mean that my art's bad, it just means it's not fitting for what I want. Like, I could spend months upon months upon months learning, relearning, completely rehoning a new skill to draw new backgrounds for the new thing, or I can just pay Blue to do it, who is incredibly good at it, has a great eye for perspective and detail and set dressing, and has someone who has already honed that skill far more than I ever can or will, when it's something that I'll only use maybe this once, maybe twice.
That's
Like-
what we like to call a friend investment.
Yeah. Like, you've gotta, like, there's just stuff it's comforting to hit a point with my art where I'm just like, I understand what I can and can't do.
Yeah, understanding your own limitations and asking for help for others.
Could I learn how to code? Yeah, probably, but it'd take me twice as long because of the way that my brain works. It'd be frustrating and I'd hate every single second of it. So it'd take me twice as long as if I just went, "Hey, Justin."
Oh, know that feeling.
So it's why I'm working with somebody whose job it is. Somebody who knows what they're fucking doing.
And I'm doing a course to try and actually make it a career of mine.
Yeah. It's also why when I'm like, I like certain aspects of Dungeons & Dragons, for example, but, like, the stat sheet building shit, that shit, you're speaking French to me, dog. I don't know what this means. I don't know what you're talking about. My dyscalculia means I'm hot ass at doing any kind of math for, like, CR, that kind of calculatory shit. I can't do it. Like, I actually medically cannot. Which,
You're more here for, like, the storytelling and the acting and
yeah,
like,
the storytelling, the
world.
roleplay, like, that's my shit. That's the shit that I'm good at. So when I start building new stuff for D&D, it's why I'm like, "Hey, Brooke, hey, Justin, can you look at this stat sheet and tell me if this is unfair?" Or I'll look at Crafty, but I can't normally look at Crafty, and it's not because Crafty isn't good at what he does, it's because he's usually in the games.
Yeah, well, that's kind of thing, because, like, a lot of the time, like, I'll be with some of my players, and they'll see stuff that I do, or I'll see it from somebody else, and I'm like, yeah, that's totally what I planned. They're like, oh, I totally intended that. Or then it's just like, at one point in my life now, it's just like a vicious cycle where me and two of our friends are just like, your Dungeon Master will remember that. Your Dungeon Master will remember that. Your Dungeon Master will remember that. And we just keep throwing harder and harder plot points at each other.
That's the shit, TM.
Like, in my most recent session, I've had it that basically there is a certain necromancer who has been coming back over and over again because he has, like, an unlimited supply of, like, simulacrums, so he basically can have an entire clone army of himself. So they accidentally have found that there is a secret base where he has an entire group of clones just working together to, like, do his necromancy shit. And they find it, they sneak in, do stealthy, and try to burn the whole place down. Only for all of the just, like, destroyed clones to congeal together into one giant gibbering maw.
That rules. I've just gotta be more okay with, like, not even working with others, because I've always been okay working with others. It's just tough for me as somebody who has always been so emotionally invested in the things that she makes, to like, I don't want to hand you my baby. What if you drop it? One of my fucking, like, favorite bits is people who, like, I cannot for the life of me relate to people who, like, fuck something up and then, like, blame their staff. Cannot relate, because every time something goes wrong, and it's because of, or, like, not even if they do it maliciously, like, they've just, like, there's just a mistake. I look at it and I'm like, oh, I fucked up. I've ruined everything. This is all my fault.
What's that old saying? A poor sportsman blames his tools.
Yeah. Every time, even when it's not my fault, when it has nothing to do with me, I'm like, I can't fucking believe I did this.
Yeah, like, I know that. Like, in the course I'm taking, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I don't get this. Like, oh, I'm so stupid, I don't understand this. And then I'll just be, like, in a group of people and, like, yeah, I don't understand this either. I don't get this at all. Like, how did you figure this out?
I'm the one at fault. Sometimes a baby gets its leg broken, and that's okay. Was said baby? What?
I mean, sometimes you crack your skull open and that's okay.
Was that a bit, or did your parents actually drop you when you were a baby and broke your leg? Is that shit true?
I mean, I did crack my skull open.
I mean, I didn't crack my skull open, but I cracked my skull. It's why I'm like this. It's because of the concussion when brother took me down a slide when I was a baby. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Could have been a way worse answer.
Yeah.
I'd rather a little sibling negligence than, like... I'll never forget my mother. For those of you who have not been around for too long, I'll tell this story again because it's really funny. My mother babysits for a family friend of ours. She's my age. She has... Oh my god, I hate that I was about to say the sentence, she's my age, she has a kid. Oh, I'm so aggressively almost 30.
Almost 30 is 30.
Soon. But... she's babysitting for her daughter, who was just a toddler. She's a baby, couldn't even talk at the time. Absolutely capital B baby. And... my office back at home used to be back in the void. Used to be like in this little sunroom that we had. So it was like right off of the living room. And she really liked me, this little baby. So she'd go and she'd sit and watch me work. I'd wave and she'd be cute and, you know, I like babies. So, one day, she's watching me work, and, so, like, for a little bit of reference real quick, so there's, so it's set up like this, right, where, like, here's my desk, here's my chair. This was a wall until right about here. There was a pair of big French doors that led out into a sunroom. So like this wall was all windows. So there's a pair of French doors right here. And there's a box in front of them so that the dog couldn't open them while I was working and so that the baby couldn't get in. Because there was this was where all of the art supplies were, and it was not good for baby to get her hands in that stuff. So I'm working, right? And then from right here, I hear... Ugh. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I heard the telltale sound that glass makes when it starts cracking. And so I whip around, because I thought what had happened was, I thought the dog tried to jump up on that window and put her paws through it. Oh, no. The baby had her hands up against one of the windows on the doors. And then, when trying to stand up, slipped and whacked her forehead on one of the windows and cracked it.
This baby's a barbarian.
Because the funniest part about this, the reason I tell this story and I get to giggle about it, she was fine. Didn't cut herself, didn't cry. She cried when Mom started to be like, oh my god, when Mom got worried, she cried. When I turned around to look, she was just looking at me. Just sitting on the ground because she'd fallen down.
That is just the weird oxymoron with babies. Like, they have not fully developed, they still have the open part of their skull, and yet they're about as durable as adamantium.
My joke is that they're resistant to bludgeoning damage.
I mean, that would make sense.
They're
I just imagine basically like frickin' Majin Buu style. You just hit them, just.
Listen, babies are resistant to bludgeoning damage, but they are vulnerable to piercing damage because their skin is so soft and easily breakable.
I mean, that sounds fair.
But yeah, she was fine. No cut. No she had a little bit of a bruise on her forehead. That's it. Otherwise, she was fine. And my mom tells her dad when he comes to pick her up that this incident happened, because she was like, just in case. And he chuckles and goes, no, she's probably fine. And my mom goes, well, what makes you so sure? And he goes, well, she fell out of her high chair a couple of days ago when she was messing around with the dog. Their dog had knocked her high chair over, and so she'd whacked her head on the floor, and she was fine. Again, no bruise, no nothing. The last incident, TM, with this child was when Mom was supposed to get her that day, but nobody dropped her off, so she was a little worried. So she calls her mom, and she's like, hey, the baby's not here. Is everything alright? Is she sick? And her mom calls back and goes, says, we can't come today. She's in the hospital. And we were like, oh no. Oh no. Because this was around COVID time, and we were like, oh, please tell me she doesn't have COVID.
No.
Oh, that'd be so bad. Please tell me she doesn't have COVID. She did not have COVID. My mother was like, let me know what's going on, because what a fucking ominous message to receive. Her mother texts her back and says, she's fine, but she had another little incident. And Mom's like, oh god, what now? She'd been trying to walk, and babies do this fun thing because they don't they don't have fine motor skills yet. So babies don't know to put their hands out when they fall down. It's why watching little kids, in their big puffy snowsuits fall down is one of my favorite things in the world. Because they don't hold their hands out. They just tip over. So she's trying to walk, and she was trying to get over to her mom, who was cooking, and she tripped, fell, didn't put her hands out, and whacked her forehead into their oven and made herself cry. So her mom immediately took her to the ER because she, I think she had a nosebleed. And her mom was terrified that she'd really hurt herself. And the doctor's like, no, she's fine. She's just gonna have a little bump. And then when my mom got her the next day, she had this fucking huge goose egg just on her forehead, black and blue. And she's like, ah! Like so happy. So I looked at my mother, I'm like, this child's a barbarian.
Like, this is a child that's gonna grow up to be the juggernaut.
Yeah, no shit. Maybe one more. Maybe one more. Ooh, too bright. Too bright.
It looks more ketchup than rust.
Yeah, there you go. I don't hate that.
James in the chat, the baby is the one Heaton kicked in Crafty's game.
Yeah, it's fucking truly is Fluffy Bearkins. Oh, that's something. It's not good for this piece, but that's something.
I like an icy kind of a look to it.
I like that, but not really that saturated. There we go. That I like. Just want it to darken that piece up a little bit, make those highlights really...
I did like that high contrast you had a little bit earlier. It almost had a bit of like a Kirby Crackle look to it for a second there.
A little bit. I think the colors are a little too harsh for it, otherwise I would. Yeah, I like that. I have to check this on both of my monitors, because on this monitor it's so dark. But on my main monitor it looks a little better. It looks... My goal is to make it look on this monitor, on the one I'm looking at, because mine is tuned a little differently, to make it look on the one in front of me like the one it looks on here. And I think I just did that. Alright, good. Now, we're gonna head there. Too light. There we go. I like to do some colored line art when I'm doing these highly rendered pieces because I think it looks a little better. There you go. There's your tasteful pyramid head tit for you. You fucking perverts.
You get your little nether nipple.
So I'm gonna try. I want to try doing something that I've done with other stuff, but I want to see how it looks like with this because I think it'll look pretty good. Take the top layer. A strong Gaussian blur. This. And that, I think, is perfect. Bada bingus baby. There you go. Don't say I never do anything for you. God, looking at red for a long period of time makes my fucking vision go spotty. might offer the Sonic.exe and the Cupcakes ones as prints as well. Because I like the way they turned out.
James in the chat. I can't be called a pervert. I've not played the main SH game.
It's... You've played a spin-off SH game? If yes, which one?
The arcade shooter.
Ah, okay. Which must be wild. Is it a fucking... Is it like a Time Crisis-like? Or like a House of the Dead? Or House of the Dead. Okay, because I was gonna say, I know you've sent me pictures of the machine.
Silent Hill, the arcade.
Which I would 100%, if I had the money and my own house. Like, if I lived on my own, I would get that, but I don't, and I don't know. A, couldn't justify the money, B, I live with other people, and I think a whole-ass arcade shooter machine would, they would hate me.
Yeah, but what if it told you that you had to hit the lever?
Hit the lever.
Welcome back.
I've completed it, I've done it, it's here, there you go.
Good. Thank you.
You fucking perverts.
Bark, bark, wolf, bark.
Pyramid attendant, the pink bunnies, and the nurses. Well, the nurses are in a lot of stuff. But, like, the fucking Robbie Rabbit's in that, too? What the fuck? When is it? Because Robbie Rabbit's... That's Heather's, monster. One of them. He's the one that's, like, the poster child for Silent Hill 3. Surprise, I wonder why. It's almost like he's incredibly distinctive.
Yeah, but think about all the random stuff they put into the second movie. Shall we not forget the mannequin spider?
I will.
I love the
actually...
The mannequin spider rules, actually.
It is an interesting idea in concept, it's just the execution was a bit weak.
As someone who is arachnophobic and also hates mannequins, I'm going to continue to forget.
Hot take, actually, I think that the mannequin spider is actually rad as hell. I think it's actually sick as fuck, and it's disgusting, and I hate it / love it.
Well, now we have the raid phrase now.
Ba ba ba! Subathon rewards. Pyramid Head. Silent Hill. Post. God, his titties are out. Jesus. Alright, well.
Don't worry, it's time for Tumblr. It's a male presenting nipple.
Yeah, no fuck. Alright, let's see where I'm sending you.
Let's see. Motley Faye's on, Tiefling Melissa's on, Migoto's on, Potion.
Oh, I'll send you to Ellie.
Okay, she's still going for her re-debut. Just don't know why it didn't show me on there. Weird.
So Saturday is our next stream, and we're gonna be drawing Slender House fan art.
Yippee!
Slender House.
I love 2014.
I wanna stay. I don't wanna go back. I don't wanna go back.
You think I do?
I saw a fucking post. It was a group of Homestuck cosplayers around you in a circle, like you're all laying on the floor, and it was like, oh my god, you're awake, you passed out. Trump? COVID? What are you talking about? We're about to go play Spin the Fago. And I'm like, oh.
No, I'm not going back.
You know what?
I will doom this timeline.
It tells you something that I had to sit there and think about it. But I'm gonna send you over to Ellie. Wish her a happy re-debut. I'm so proud of her. And I'll see you Saturday for Slender House.